Two characters burdened by the loss of family members, an episode full of hatred, disdain, acceptance, and loss, plus many more emotions. What happens when Erika and Suo finally face off? Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton. Today we're talking all things episode 4 of the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe arc. A great episode that handles a much deeper topic than the previous ones before it. So, Suo lost this match. Okay, this does mean no Suo versus Akina rematch, or a Suo versus Michiru matchup within the tournament. But this can still happen just outside the tournament bracket. Now then, the main highlight within this episode was seeing how Suo's character has matured in such a brilliant way, as he plays the role of the villain here to help Erika move forward and teach her that it's okay to accept and embrace that hatred, but in a positive light, not in any way that is destructive to herself or anyone else around her. He doesn't need her forgiveness. He doesn't need them to be friends. She can hate him and he will accept that burden. After all, Suo in this timeline has grown and changed. But in Erika's timeline, she never got that chance to grow up with her brother or to develop and change in a positive way. Instead, she was forced to fixate on the loss of someone important to her to the point where she had to risk her own health to go back in time. Now, of course, Suo does have his own loneliness and sadness from losing his parents. This consumed him, leaving him feeling empty, thus giving us the timeline of Akina's death, where Suo just didn't want anything, he didn't wish for anything. Of course, that is coinciding with his loss of memories as well, but that is again from the loss of his parents, which is a traumatic and tragic thing to go through as a kid. Now, Suo and Akina are friends, and the words he told Erika in this episode were harsh, but scarily true, as his mindset during the finals of the Fated Clash was still that he wanted nothing. But in hindsight, now Suo wouldn't dare kill Akina, as those words were just used to rile up Erika, to allow her to express herself, as sometimes it's healthy to let all that anger and hatred out, as opposed to bottling it up inside and being confused as to what to do with it. So then moving on to Erika's character, this was a brilliant showcasing from her. Firstly, I want to talk about her interactions with Gabelius, as this was so wholesome to see. Him talking to her and being this emotional support type of character for her was heartwarming, telling her that he'll always be there for her and reassuring her that it's okay to feel lost and unsure about one's feelings, as long as you're always moving forward. This scene at the beginning where they're talking though does really help to reinforce and rebuild that connection that the two had, because the two are intertwined completely. Now, seeing Erika getting a new ace monster in the Fated One of Time, Leo Dragonis, was amazing, as this helps showcase the union of Gabelius and Leo coming together to support their fighter. Now, this card's divine skill, auto on Vanguard. At the end of the battle, this unit attacks if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater. Choose a grade 3 or greater card with Leo in its card name from your soul or drop zone, and you may ride it as stand. If you rode, this unit drive becomes 1 until the end of the turn. Now, this does differ slightly from the original, as this time it searches every card that is a grade 3 or greater with the same card name, as opposed to just the card itself. The voice acting from Erika's voice actress was fantastic. So much range in the emotion and depth, really making the feelings of the character shine through and stand out. This was perfect, so thank you very much for that. Suo really did help Erika come to terms with her hatred and feelings, allowing her to process and express her feelings in an open and controlled way, thus making Erika's character feel lighter as she learns to accept and move forward. Not without forgiving Suo, but with understanding and acceptance. They don't have or need to be friends or to forgive each other. They just need to be able to coexist in the same space for the sake of the person that they both cherish the most, aka Akina. So then, with Erika now advancing to the semi-finals, I think she will be facing Ruka, as they did a tiny bit of setup for this, with Ruka seeing a lot of light and darkness within Erika, which tingled the interest of Ruka, so it's going to be a fun showcasing seeing how the showdown will progress. Let's dive into it when it finally comes around. So I could talk about this episode for hours. It was truly that amazing. But sometimes letting the show breathe and take us on the ride and journey is what makes it so magical. However, that's going to do it for me for the review of episode 4. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like, comment and subscribe, and join me as we move on to episode 5. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.